Okay, hello. Can you hear me? Hello, hello. Okay, can you take her out because she's not going to want to stay in here? Is Mosley in here?
Yeah.
Oh, Mosley, you don't have to leave. Mosley, you don't. You can stay in here with me. Come here, bud. Say hello, YouTube. How's it going, everybody? Can you guys hear me and everything? Oh yeah, no, yeah. Okay, thank you. Hello, hello. Nah, I did nap. I actually did. I was able to nap for like 20 minutes and it did make me feel better, but I still have a headache, so I have to not get boba today and drink a Coke to hope that this headache goes away. But yes, I do feel better than I did yesterday. Thank you. Um, oh, oh, you're just gonna, okay. Do you want me to move so you could just have the chair to yourself? You're so freaking cute. Mosley got a haircut. Oh, bud. Here, Mos. This is your show. What would you like to say? Anything? Anything? All right, he's not very talkative today. Okay. Bye, dude. I don't know when I'll open another P.O. box. I haven't. Okay, hold on. Mosley wants out for some reason. Usually he wants to stay with me, but. Go out. Good. Okay. I'm not sure when I will open another P.O. box yet. Not 100% sure. I know. I should do that. I don't know. One of these days. Thank you. We got one more summer nail color before Halloween, before October. Hi, Richard. Hello, thank you. I still have a little bit of a headache, but I don't feel as bad as yesterday. Thank you. Thank you for asking. I know. Mosley's like, okay, the people are here for me. And then he just left. Oh no, you're sick. I hope you feel better soon. I'm not sick, I just have a headache. And it just has it, but it's just a little headache. But I know if I drink a Coke, it'll go away. I'm drinking vanilla Coke for all you UK people who can't get it. This is for you. Okay, so this is House of Leaves. It's this monster of a book here by Mark Danielewski. So I got it all wet. But so this is what we've been reading. We've just been kind of breaking it down into sections and talking about it little by little. I don't know that we have like a crazy amount to say for the last 2 chapters that we discussed. So for the first while, we'll just chat, hang out, talk about books, that kind of thing. And then, did you say... Wait, hold on, I lost where we were. Oh, and then if you're new to the channel as a whole, we also have book clubs once a month too. It's over there. A Certain Hunger is this month's book club book. And so we just read the book and then once a month we get together on live and discuss it. When did we say book club was, guys? Was it the 28th? Is that what we decided? September 28th? I know. I swear I wrote that one down. The Blind Owl. I swear I did. It's this 1937 novella. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. I swear I wrote this down on my thing, on my TBR. I can't promise when I'll get to it, but I will get to it eventually. How's everyone doing today? How was everyone's weekend? Yeah, transgressive literature is my fave. Uh, what do you mean creepy IRL? Like after reading the book? Yes, I have actually. Richard, I think, well, I read because the our TBR book, I picked this one, which, okay, this is Not Quite Dead Yet by Holly Jackson. I had never heard of this writer before. I guess she's very, very popular, but she's a thriller writer. I don't read, I mean, I do read a lot of thrillers, but I just hadn't heard of her. I picked this book up because it sounded interesting. If you guys watched my last video, I talked about it. I think it was in my last book haul. But it's about this girl who gets attacked on Halloween night, and the doctors tell her she's going to have an aneurysm that's going to kill her within the next 7 days. So she has like 7 days to live. And in that 7 days, she's determined to find her own killer. And I didn't know what it would be like going into it. And I gotta tell you, this is one of the best books I have read, if not my favorite book of the entire year. It is so good. Not only is the plot interesting, not only is like, it's a unique concept, but it is so funny. I cannot recommend this book enough. I highly recommend it. This honestly might be my favorite book of the year so far. And it's a thriller. That's saying a lot. It's so good. It's so good. So yes, I am getting through my TBR. I kind of just skipped over the summer books and went straight into the creepy fall books, which I think is good because then I can give you guys like a recommendations video for the House of Leaves writer, Mark Danielewski. I think that's which author you were talking about. Mark Danielewski. We're a bit into it. We're probably about halfway through, and it's a chunky read. But I was already thinking last night, what book could we read for next year? Because it's kind of cool to break down the bigger books little by little and make them a little bit more manageable. So we might have to do this for like maybe a Stephen King book or maybe Swan Song or maybe something like that. If you guys want. Yeah, but it's so good. I honestly, I could not recommend this book enough. And there's obviously, some underlying kind of like, don't waste your life and make each day fulfilling to you. And so, stuff like that. Gives you a little bit of an existential crisis thinking about, oh, if I only had 7 days left to live, how would you spend it? But I just love the characters. She's so funny. Ugh, I just love it. And I guess, like your outlook on stuff and how that can change things. It's a great book. I'm really enjoying it. Oh, something paranormal. Ooh, I don't know. I mean, I did live in a house where weird things happened, but I still am not 100% sure what was going on in that house, but my animals did act very strangely. Yes, Richard, yes. So many 5-star books. I will admit, the women book that I just finished. It's a great book, but it was so sad. It was really sad. Yeah, well, and I also read Pretty Girls too, which does have a blue cover too. So I guess I'll read more that fits into that TBR pick. um, on Patreon, we pick little TBR cards, and then they give us like a prompt of books to read. So the Not Quite Dead Yet was the book for that prompt. Math textbooks are the spookiest of all books. Oh yeah, Morella's not in here for once. I'm I'm sure she will come and bother us in a little bit. Richard, if you twist my arm, okay, if you make me, then I guess I'll have to. You know what's so funny is you guys know I told you guys I had that book club yesterday. So I had some friends over, and one of my friends brought her kid. And I showed my friends the mini books, the mini brands books. They were not impressed. They did not think it was cool. I was like, wait, why are you guys not freaking out? I think this is the cutest thing ever. But her kid loved them. And in fact, he took all of them out of here and he put them in a little thing, and he was carrying them around, like shaking the little box. And then he was using a little magnifying glass and reading them. I was like, at least somebody appreciates my love for mini brands books. Is American Psycho a more messed up book than film? 100%, yeah. A lot worse happens in that book. Yeah. I have not read The Long Walk. Oh, you watched the movie. How was it? I saw a trailer for it recently, and I'm like, how are they going to make walking entertaining? I'm sure they did, but thank you. It's good to have you here. Yes, do. Add it. Add it. Add it. Read it. I love this book. I can't remember. Well, you know what's funny is right before this one, I read Mexican Gothic. And that one I was like, "Oh my gosh, it's my new favorite book of the year." So good, so atmospheric. It was the perfect book for me. So I picked this one up and I'm like, I'm probably not going to read or like this one as much because I just read such a good book. And then I read this one and I'm like, wait, this is my new favorite of the year. I haven't in so long. I haven't done I haven't been doing much of anything. You guys know this past few years I haven't been feeling great, especially this past year. So I haven't really done much writing or much of anything. Well, you guys know, even many videos. But I'm hoping to get back to it. No, I haven't heard of this one. Fellside. Let's see what this guy's about. I've never even heard of this. Isn't that crazy that no matter how many books you hear of, there's still a million more that you've never heard of? It says Fellside is a maximum security prison on the edge of the Yorkshire moors. Don't know if I pronounced that correctly. It's not the kind of place you'd like to end up, but it's where Jessie Molson could be spending the rest of her life. It's a place where the walls whisper, and one voice belongs to a little boy with a message for Jess. Will she listen? That sounds creepy. That sounds spooky. I know, I think they're cool too. Disliked which book? Oh, okay, so you did like Hex? I think Richard gave me that suggestion. I think Richard, I think you recommended that Hex book because I was looking for witchy type books. So I have that one on my list too to look up. But now that I know that you enjoyed it, I'll try to get to it this fall. Many people disliked House of Leaves. Here's the thing about House of Leaves. It's not an easy book to get through by any means. And you get out of the book as much as you put into it. I know that we've already talked about this before, but like there's hidden messages in there and there's so many things that you can like pick apart and analyze and try to figure out. And it is a workout for your brain. And if you're not willing to put in that effort, you're not going to get as much out of the book as you could. You know? So it just kind of depends how you're going in. Like this last month, I haven't really read that much of it. Like when I have a headache, I cannot read House of Leaves. It is not happening. Last night, I had to finish the last few pages, and I actually made Brian read me like 4 pages from it. And he just said, I have no idea what's going on. I don't know what's happening. I'm like, yeah, that's fair. So it's understandable that some people wouldn't like House of Leaves because it is complex and it does give you a little bit of a headache while reading it. So I understand people who don't like it. I also understand people who absolutely love it because it is one of the most unique books that I've ever read. Yeah, Richard, it has. I think this has been my best reading month so far. So I'm hoping to keep it up. I just got Play Nice by Rachel Harrison. So, I mean, I'm assuming I'm going to absolutely love that one. I also got that Bat Eater book, too. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a good reading month. Oh, interesting. The Long Walk is one of his best books. Okay, okay. Well, whoever it was recommended Needful Things. Is that what it's called? For the book club suggestion, which almost got picked, by the way. An 800-page book almost got picked for book club. We were like this close. And that one actually sounded really interesting, so I kind of want to read that one now. But it's just hard when we're reading House of Leaves too. So maybe after that one. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so good. Um, a Mexican Gothic, I mean. Yeah, I can see why it wouldn't be for everybody. It's not like a fast-paced, typical horror book. But if you're looking for an atmospheric book, oh, it's so good. I loved it. And I bought her other book. I showed you guys in the last book haul, The Bewitching. So I read Mexican Gothic. I'm like, oh my gosh. Because like you said, I've heard people be like, oh, it's not that good. So I've kind of put it off, which is so dumb because obviously we're all going to feel differently about books. But anyways, I ended up reading it. And then I'm like, oh, now I have The Bewitching to read. So super excited about that. But yeah, man, what a good book. What a good, just atmospheric, spooky, fun read. I loved every page of that one. Yeah, that one does sound good. The Fellside book. Zone 1. Zone 1. Oops. Okay. That did not come up. Oh, this one. A post-apocalyptic horror. A pandemic has devastated the planet. The plague has sorted humanity into 2 types, the uninfected and the infected. The living and the living dead. So it's a zombie book. I'll have to try to read Hex this Halloween season. No, Freak's Law? I haven't even heard of that. Oh, I have seen this cover actually. Summer of 97. And the repressed Scottish town of Pitlaw is itching for change. A traveling carnival of delinquent queers and architects of mayhem. Let me know how this one is when you finish it. I have seen that cover before, but I'm not sure I've heard anybody talk about the book. No way. Treadmills? I feel like that would be... I mean, I get it, because that's what the movie's about, but I don't think I would pay to walk on a treadmill for 2 hours. I don't think that would be my idea of fun. But that's fun. You probably feel a little bit more involved in the movie if you were to watch it that way. Richard, it was the book, was it the book recommendations one? It's all good. There's a few people that have started House of Leaves and it just wasn't for them, or they weren't in the right headspace to read it. Totally understand. It takes a lot of, you have to pay attention a lot, a lot in it. And if you're not willing to spend the time, then yeah, I totally get it. Fountain pens? Like fancy pens? No, Richard, I think people were relieved, actually. Yeah, I'd like to read Needful Things too. I'm not sure if I'll get a chance to read it this fall. We still got quite a bit of House of Leaves left. So I don't know. This might end up going into next year. I think I've put off 1 or 2 of these House of Leaves live streams. Yeah, I'm not sorry. Exactly. Yeah. It would have been rough. That's for sure. I think less people would have read the book club book if it ended up being the Stephen King one. Oh, The Girl Next Door. I would not say that book is good. I would say that book is messed up. It's not an enjoyable read by any means. She's so good. Oh my gosh, she's so good. I can't believe that I waited so long to read her work, so I'm really excited to read The Bewitching. I am not a drinker. I'm not a drinker. Yeah. American Psychos. That's a good one. Okay, I'll get to Needful Things eventually. Because it sounds really cool. And I don't think I have that book. I'll have to pick it up. Yeah, I do remember watching that video, Richard. Off the top of my head, I can't remember the books that were recommended. Yeah, I can't remember, but I'll go back and rewatch it. But I think I did write down some books from it. Yeah, Misery's a fun one. Oh, no, I haven't read The Exorcist House, but Richard actually sent that to me. It's on my shelf. Actually, that's a really good fall book to read too. I should read that one either this month or next month. Oh, yeah, Misery for the Blue. Yep, that would work. But I'll keep it for winter. Exactly. Yes. I feel like I can read summer books in fall or fall books in spring or whatever, but there's something about winter books where I only want to read them in winter. And it's dumb because I live in LA. It doesn't even snow out here. But all during winter, I only want to read snowy, spooky books. So I haven't responded on the Discord, but yeah, Richard, for sure, The Terror. You should read that one this winter. I don't trust people that don't drink. Sorry. Sorry to disappoint. Well, I drink, this is my beverage of choice is boba. I have the palate of a child, so. The Collector? Is it this John Foles book? Oh, cool. Okay. I'm glad you guys brought up The Exorcist House because, yeah, that's perfect for October. Um, oh, I think I already picked that book, the book eater or the Bat Eater one up. Oh no, maybe actually Richard, maybe that is why I got that one. Maybe you're right. That probably is why I got it if it was on that video. I mean, cuz you guys have talked about that Bat Eater book too. But yeah, I think you're right. I think it was that video that and then I saw, well, I showed you guys there's so many good books, horror books that came out recently like within the last month. I just my wallet can't take it, but oh my gosh, so many books that look so good that would be perfect for fall October reads. I just picture winter books as snow, which I don't know why, because I don't even ever see the snow. Better be Jack and that Coke. I'm pretty sure if there was, it would give me more of a headache than I have now. Yeah, I'm trying to make you guys jealous. Those of you in the UK that can't get the vanilla Coke. I mean, I've already read The Terror, but that is one of my favorite books ever. So if that book is selected for a winter book club book, I would not complain. It is a little it's a thicker book, so it would take a bit to read, but I would be happy to read that book again. That's honestly one of my favorite horror books ever written ever. Okay, withdrawn, uneducated, and uninvolved, Frederick collects butterflies and takes photographs. He's obsessed with a beautiful stranger, the art student Miranda. Oh, interesting. He buys a remote house and abducts her, believing she will grow to love him. Yeah, that does sound pretty creepy. Okay, yeah. The blood on her tongue I already had, but I think the Bat Eater I picked up from that video. I think you're right. Wait, oh really? You can't get vanilla Coke either? Where are you at? How come vanilla Coke is just not normally available? This is blasphemy. Oh, dude, anything even similar to Victorian Psycho, I'm here for. No, I haven't heard. Michael McDowell. Ooh, he's got tons of books. Um, Interesting. A lot of these look really interesting. Cold Moon over Babylon. Oh yeah, Katie. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's so funny that even the cover kind gives off a little Victorian Psycho. Ever so nimble at bashing heads with her little hammer. Oh my god, I have to read this. Wait, this is so. I have to read this immediately. Thank you so much. I'm gonna look and see if it's on like Amazon. Dang it, it's not on. It's not on Kindle Unlimited. I'm gonna have to buy this. This sounds. It has great ratings too. I'm sorry. If you start the synopsis of a book with ever so nimble at bashing heads in with a hammer, I have to purchase it. I'm buying it immediately. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, the library is great. It's I should use it more, but I feel like okay, first of all, did you guys know that if you have Spotify, if you pay for a Spotify subscription thing, whatever it's called, that you get 15 free hours of audiobook? Well, I guess it's not free because you're paying for it. But that's how have I just learned about this? That's crazy. But yeah, the library is great. Maybe for actually I never thought about using the library for my girls book club. I should do that. They tend to pick books that are more popular though, so might be a little bit challenging to get from them. But yeah, if you can find it, find books at the library. It's a great resource. Oh, that's true too. Actually, I never thought about that. Since you have a date that you have to give them back, then you have to read the book by that time. That's true. Yeah, Richard, I think so. What do you guys think? Did you guys like the spinning the wheel for the book club for the category and then recommending books? Did you guys like that for this last book club? I think some people were hesitant about it, but it seemed like the majority of people on Instagram liked being able to recommend books even if they couldn't make the live stream. Oh, thank you. I know. I know. So many books, so little time. But you know what? I think someone else had left a comment like, that's a good problem to have. I'm like, that's so true. That's so true. Oh my gosh, Bulgaria. No, okay, so here are the places that I'm not visiting ever because they don't have vanilla Coke: Bulgaria and the UK. I think actually some places in the UK you might be able to get vanilla Coke, but man, that's rough. How do you guys survive out there? Oh, okay. The Blackwater series too. Okay, I'll have to look into that. Well, now I'm like, I gotta move all my books around because now I want to read that Exorcist House. Now I want to read this Victorian Psycho kind of book. And now I gotta read the Blackwater series. You guys are giving me all sorts of good books to read. I honestly, since reading Victorian Psycho, have just that's all I want to read is books like that. That book was so fun. I had no idea. I had no idea. So now that I know that, I already have Audible. So I'm going to utilize the Spotify 15-hour per month too. Cuz why not? And if I usually listen to audibles when I prefer to read a book, but if I'm cleaning, I'll listen to a book, or if I'm walking the dogs or whatever. It's nice to have something to listen to. So I'll definitely listen to more books this year. No, that's what they're there for. Okay, cool. So it seemed like you guys... Okay, so book club. Let me grab the book. One sec. And, just in case you guys force me to open a mini brands mini book thing, I'm just going to put this right here. So, we'll see. We'll see if you guys just make me, then I'll have to, Okay, so book club this month. Okay, cool. So it seemed like you guys like the categories and stuff, which I think is a cool way to incorporate people that can't make the lives, because not everybody can make every live, and a lot of people do watch it after. So book club this month. What did we say, guys? The 28th? Yeah. It's on the 28th. Frick, that's coming up. I gotta read this book. So here's the book for this month. It's called A Certain Hunger by Chelsea G. Summers. I don't think that this is a horror book. So for those of you who haven't read it yet, expect horror elements, but don't expect a horror book. That's at least what I've read. I haven't read it yet. So yeah, you could just read this bad boy, and then we will have a live on the 28th, the same time as this. So it's noon my time, but obviously you guys are from all over, so. But the same time as this now. And then we will be discussing this guy, A Certain Hunger. Look at that cover. Well, actually, I know some of you don't have this cover. I know some of you guys have that freaking pineapple. Oh, that pineapple cover. Yeah. I used to use Libby a lot. I had a job where I had a lot of like not free time because I was working, but I could listen to stuff. So I use Libby a lot. Too old for this? Oh, wait. Yes. I have seen this. Yes, I think I saw this at the bookstore too. A retired serial killer's quiet life is upended by an unsuspected visitor. Come on, this sounds so good too. Did this one just come out? Yeah, publication date, August 12th. Man, there are so many good books. I wish I did the thing where I could pull up something on here to show you guys all the cool books that are coming out, but I am telling you, there's so many good books that are coming out or just came out. Yeah. I really want to read this, The Possession of Alba Diaz. This one sounds good. This Coffin Moon book, this vampire book, sounds perfect for Halloween. So many good books are coming out. Man, my bank account is gonna hate me. I know. How weird is that pineapple cover? And if I ordered it from Amazon, that's the cover I would have gotten too. So I ended up getting the hardcover one. What? Did he want to come in?
Yeah.
Was he waiting for me?
Yeah.
Oh, buddy, come here. You were waiting at the door? Oh, big stretch. Oh, wow. So anyway, I ended up getting the hardcover one because I was like, that pineapple cover is an interesting choice. Yeah, that sounds so fun. Also, I think the new Philip Fracassi, the retirement one. Has that one already come out, or that one's coming out soon too? I know, and then how are we supposed to get through all these books when like 10 new great books come out during October or September? If you read it, let me know how it is. TBR gives me anxiety. No. It's a good thing, not a bad thing. Do you guys get it eventually, or it's just not there? Yeah, it's impossible. It's impossible to get it down. Think of all the amazing books that you haven't read yet. Man, that's crazy. Okay, should we open a mini brands, guys? A mini brands books? Since apparently I'm not gonna get to have mini brands books choose my TBR because I can just keep opening them on live streams, which is totally fine for me because they're so fun and cute. Oh my gosh, 3,000. Okay, well, yeah, that would give me a little bit of anxiety too. That's a lot of bugs. That's so funny. Hello, welcome. Oh, classic possession story. Oh, interesting. You know, I also do have this other book that I thought would be a good fall book too. It's written by a priest, or sorry, I don't know the correct terminology, but I think he's like a Jesus guy, okay? And he performed exorcisms supposedly, and the book is broken down into 5 different people that he's supposedly exorcised demons from. And it sounds like it would be a creepy book. So maybe I'll get to that in October too. This one I don't think I've seen. Old Soul? Old Soul? Old Soul? Old Soul. Dude, am I high right now? Why does that sound so weird coming out of my mouth? Old Soul. Old Soul. Old Soul. Part horror, part western, part thriller. Interesting. Old Soul. Old Soul. Does anyone else think that sounds weird? Old Soul? My camera died. One moment. Let me grab a battery. Oh. Sorry, 1 second. I gotta plug this in. Oh, jeez. Zoom in. Oh gosh, why is it? Well, it's still spinning though. Dang it. It says excellent connection. Hey, sorry, can you help me fix my life. I tripped over a cord and then it's just spinning. Okay, fine. Oh, okay, wait, I think it finally fixed it. This thing's so sensitive. I tripped over that and then
it's super loose.
Sorry. Thank you. Okay, so we're good now. You guys can hear and see and everything. I can't confirm. Okay, cool. Sorry about that. I tripped on a cord and it messed everything up. Hello, welcome. Ooh, some Rex that'll scare you. You want fiction horror books or nonfiction real life accounts of spooky things that scared you? I put everything away yesterday because I had friends over, but usually I just keep it up. We're just in my office room right now. Okay, guys. Nat and Richard said that we should open a Mini Brands books. They're gonna force me to do it. They're gonna make me. I guess we have to. So if you guys haven't been to a live before, the last few lives that we did, we've been opening these Mini Brands books. They're just teeny tiny books, and they're adorable. I don't know which one to open, though. It's tradition. Okay, well, let me, before we get to that, can I recommend the two books that freaked me out the most? They're not horror books, but these are the books that have messed me up more than any other book. Let me grab them. This one, because I was just talking about that guy yesterday, and then these guys are super fun too. Okay, so the first book, this was sent to me by I think it was this author. This is called Haunted, Horror of Haverford West by G.L. Davies. And what happened was this writer lived in a haunted house and published his account of what he experienced living in this house. After he published it, he got contacted by a couple who said, I know what house that is because all of those things happened to me too. So then he wrote down their account of what happened in the haunted house. So the book is broken down into two parts, and it's the couple's part and his part and what they experienced, supposedly in this true story of a haunting. This book freaked me out. It's so fun, and I think it's creepier when it's like something that could potentially be true, you know? I mean, regardless of whether you believe in ghosts or not, I think it's still a really creepy read because he does at the end talk about other things that could potentially be mistaken as a haunting, which I thought was really interesting. So this one, highly, highly, highly recommend. Super good. He also wrote this guy, Harvest, The True Story of Alien Abduction. And basically what's that called? Where you question someone and then fucking interviews this, I think it's a girl who is convinced that she was abducted by aliens. And this one's pretty creepy too. And these are, again, supposedly true stories. Obviously left up to your discretion whether you believe them or not, but still creepy to read. So, would recommend those. And then this one is probably, of my books, no, for sure, the book that has disturbed me the most. My friends asked me yesterday, because we were in here, they were looking at my books, and my friend said, "What's the most disturbing book you've ever read?" And I immediately picked this one out. Have you guys seen the movie The Exorcism of Emily Rose? If you don't open up, we'll be forced to boycott. I have 3 of these ones left. The balls. The mini brands balls. Okay, well, it's a horror movie. It's about a girl that gets possessed by a demon. Demons. This, my friends, is the true account of what happened to that girl. It's called The Exorcism of Annalise. I think it's pronounced Michelle. I'm not really sure, but it's spelt like Michael. But it's by Felicitas D. Goodman. And I believe it took place in Germany. Yeah, 1976 in Germany. And this writer, after, spoiler alert, this girl passes away, okay? If you haven't seen the movie, so sorry, but so this writer went to Germany after this girl passed away. She interviewed the priests that were there during the exorcism. She interviewed her parents. She got court documents. She got journals from Annalise. And this book is the entire account of what happened to this girl. It is horrifying because even from the perspective of this being like a medical condition or a mental illness or a combination of both, what this girl went through is absolutely horrifying. And like I said, there's journal entries in here. So it starts out with like normal journal entries and then they get more frantic and more all over the place. And it's so sad. It is horrifying. This book messed me up so much that it was actually in my closet for a good few years. And if you guys don't want to read the book, I do have a whole video going through this too from like years and years ago. But yeah, those are the books that disturb me the most. I guess real life stuff to me is creepier, knowing that it actually happened to someone. I don't know. Sci-fi book. I don't know. I would have to definitely go through my shelves. I'm not sure. Is it honestly maybe The Martian? Maybe Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? Maybe like anything Philip K. Dick. I don't know. I also liked that Perfect Day book by Ira Levin. Ira? I haven't seen the new Conjuring movie yet. I have not. I'm sure I will eventually. Once it's streaming somewhere, I'll watch it. But yeah, those are the ones that freak me out the most. And honestly, the horror books that give me nightmares and freak me out usually are like the more mild ones for whatever reason. Oh my gosh, Richard, you have to read it. It's so good. It's so good. I prefer The Martian to Project Hail Mary, personally. I know everyone loved Project Hail Mary. The Martian was was my jam. Okay, let's open a mini brands. I'm gonna go with this one. I'm making an executive decision. And then we'll talk a little bit about House of Leaves. Although, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you guys are reading House of Leaves with me, did you guys feel like these chapters, there was just maybe a little bit less to talk about than usual? I'm also thinking maybe we do lives every week in October over here. I really want to finish, what was that game? Oh, the Mortuary Assistant. I want to play that game over here. And yeah, I wish we could do movie nights here. Okay, so this is what we've got. They come in little packets. So we got a book. This might be a bookshelf. And 2 more books. I'm so excited. Oh, yeah. Definitely Richard Lehman can get like, well, the only Richard Lehman book that I have read was pretty intense, but it was more like on the essay side of things. But you know what? I did get a Richard Lehman book called All Hallows Eve to read during this month or next month. It looks so fun. So I'm excited for that. Oh, I do love eyeballs. I do love eyeballs on the cover. Oh, look! We got a shelf that's not white. We got a yellow shelf this time. Cute. Okay, I'm not going to put it together, but it looks like this when you... And then you can stack them on top of each other. So that's cool. One yellow eye. Yeah. I don't know what my deal is with eyeballs on the cover. I just love eyeballs on books. A brilliant scientist desperately searches for a cure after a devastating epidemic while also hiding a monumental secret, her undead husband. Ooh, this one's fun too. Isn't this so fun? Just talking about books. I could do this all day. Okay, yeah. Now, I felt the same way too. And I'm like, maybe I'm just not paying close enough attention, but it didn't feel as, it kind of felt like an extension of last chapters than something new. Most of the chapters, each new chapter has something new, like the chapter about the SOS signals, or the chapters about the house dimensions, or whatever it is. But these ones seemed kind of more like an extension of what we read before. Yeah, well, and Richard, we're going to have movie nights in October on Patreon every Friday and Saturday. So that way, like, you UK people will get to watch one of the movies, because one of them will be... Oh, thank you. What am I wearing? Morbid... Oh no, Murder Apparel. Thank you. Okay, so here's our first book of the day. As always, I will post these on Instagram because you guys aren't going to be able to see how cool this is here. But I got Dracula! You guys, I got Dracula. I'm so excited. Oh my god, it's so cute. Oh my god, it's so cute. And then it just fits on your little bookshelf. It's just so cute. Dude, if mini brands were a thing when I was a kid, I don't think you understand how much money I would spend on these things. They're so cute. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Did I already say I'll post it on Instagram so you guys can see? Yeah, I think I just did, right? I'll post an up-close picture so you guys can look at it on Instagram after we're done. That's a good one. That's a good one. Richard, you're a hater. You're such a hater. Yeah, it didn't seem like the most exciting category, but I got Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. Cute. So see, this is why I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have done this, because this would be a perfect one for the Mini Brands books chooses what I read for the month or for the week. I would love to read Dracula and Pride and Prejudice. Oh well. Oh well. And then the last one we got here. Yes, I also got a Jane Eyre mini bookmark. And last time that we opened these, I got the mini Jane Eyre book. So I'm very excited about this. Very cute. Send them my way. Send all the book recommendations my way. And then this one is Girls in Pants. The Summer of the Sisterhood. Oh yeah, The Summer of the Sisterhood. It looked like it said sister food, but it's sisterhood. By Anne Brashares. Now let's see how rare our Mini Brands books are. Okay, this Girls in Pants book. Oh, this one's rare. Girls in Pants. Pride and Prejudice is... I don't see that one. Oh, common. Pride and Prejudice is common. And then Dracula is common. So now I just need Moby Dick, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Did we get Frankenstein yet? I don't think we got Frankenstein. And we got Jane Eyre. We've got a lot of the good ones. Oh, and I really want this Dracula bookmark. It's a little coffin shape and it has fangs on it. So that's the Mini Brands for the week. I'm glad I don't have to read this pants one, Girls in Pants, because I think it's in a series. Like, I think it's number 2 or 3 in a series, so. But I would have really liked to read Dracula and Pride and Prejudice, so. Oh! Just threw them down. Oh yeah, I'll keep them out so I can take a picture for you guys. How cute! Guys, those are so cute. Should I get more? Old soul. Old soul. Old soul. I don't know, man. I don't know why that sounds so weird. Oh, did I get Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? I don't remember. The kid put him in the little thing over there. Yeah, the Dracula bookmark is really cute. But this Jane Eyre one's really cool too, so I'm glad I got that one to match the little book. Yeah, I would say The Girl Next Door messed me up for a while. I would say that was one of the more unpleasant books that I've ever read. Oh. So that's our Mini Brands. Just making sure I didn't miss any bookmarks or anything. And last time we got this giant cat. Still am not sure why that cat was in there. But it was like double the size of the bookshelf. It was huge. So at least we didn't get a cat this time. Oh, that's so weird. Right when I said that, Marilla walked in. Marilla. Marilla. Baby D. Oh, hi. Look, it's your size book. You can read it. What do you think? Do you want to read Dracula? Can you move just a little tiny bit? I can't see. No. Okay. Oh, okay. Alrighty. Hello, Amy. I don't know, all the books that I wanted to read this month, I feel like would be good Halloween reads, but I also feel like I have to read them early because I also want to give you guys recommendations for books to read for Halloween too, you know? So like the Blood on Her Tongue book, Play Nice, the Bat Eater book, The Bewitching, all of those I feel like would be perfect for October. So I don't know. I just don't know. Well, yeah, that's why she came in here, because she heard this. And for whatever reason, Morella's favorite toy is a crumpled up ball of paper. Isn't that right? What you doing, Dels? Trying to take over the world? She's so cute, but so evil, you know? All right. All right, all right, all right. And then I'm assuming that there are people in here that haven't read House of Leaves, right? Oh, really? One of your favorite books of all time. Dang. Whoa. Okay, cool. I'll definitely have to get to that soon. I just bought that one. Okay, let me look this one up real quick. Man, my freaking headache's coming back. Oh, whoops. Wait, go back. Oh. The Beast Within? Impressionistic Study of a Man's Slow Corruption by Jealousy. When he discovers a sordid secret about his young wife's past, the only way he can rest is by forcing her to help him murder the man involved. Ooh. Wait, this does sound interesting, but it says it's number 17 in a series. Do I have to read 17 other ones? Or is it just... Oh, maybe it's not number 17 in a series. Oh, no, yeah. Book 8, 9, 10. Oh my god, it is book 17 in a series. That's crazy. But maybe they're also standalone books too? I don't know. Let me know. Okay. Oh, okay. So it's not, you don't have to read them all together. Okay, I'm leaving all these tabs open so I can look into them and then add them to my TBR. Oh man, my headache. They're different storylines and not connected. Okay, cool. Okay, so gonna give you a really quick synopsis of House of Leaves thus far if you guys haven't read it. Obviously, we're gonna be giving stuff away, so just keep that in mind. But House of Leaves is about this young kid, he's not a kid, a young man named Johnny. He moves into an apartment because the person who owned the apartment has passed away. And he finds that guy. What's that guy's name? Zampano? He finds his work. And Zampano has been writing House of Leaves, like writing this about this video that he's supposedly seen, which shows this filmmaker. He has this like short film about how the dimensions of his house are off. The inside of his house is bigger than the outside of his house. So there's a portion of his house that keeps changing. And it gets bigger, it gets smaller. There doors appear, rooms appear, and he's trying to explore this part of his house. So we're being told this story twice removed, essentially. And Zampano, as much as he talks about what happened in this Navidson, what do they call it? The Navidson report or something, in this video of the house, he's also blind. So we have no idea how he's seen it, or so we're like more than twice removed from what actually happened in this story, you know? So it's basically two stories being told at once. You have this account of the house and the family within the house and what happened. And again, it's told from Zampano, so it's not like our direct connection. We don't have a direct connection to what actually happened. So we have like Zampano's account, and then within the footnotes, we have a second story being told. And it's mainly just Johnny rambling about sleeping with women and doing drugs and stuff like that. Obviously, they connect and stuff, but that's basically what House of Leaves is. It's these two stories that are kind of running parallel. Okay. Favorite Goosebumps. I mean, you guys know that I love that purple peanut butter one, because I thought I was the smartest kid in the world when I got to the end of the Choose Your Own Adventure. But I think I've always liked the dummy one. That's the one I feel like I've read the most. Okay, so we are currently on, the chapters that we read this time are chapter 11 and 12. Oh, geez, sorry about that. Okay. The story is also written very interestingly. Yes. I seriously thought I was the smartest kid ever when I didn't die in that book. I'm like, ugh, genius. I'm so sorry. Sorry. I was just trying to wake you guys up. The book is also written very interestingly. A lot of the times the text kind of represents what's happening in the story, which is quite interesting. In the SOS chapter about an SOS message, the entire thing was written as an SOS, and you can like decipher messages within that. This one's written as like columns, which we'll talk about in a second. And then when we get to chapter 11, it's written in the same way that our previous chapters were, where we have characters at the top and the bottom of stairs, and that's represented by the text on the page, which is pretty cool. Actually, can you guys see that? Yeah, it's a little bit, my camera's a little bit blown out. I gotta fix the lighting in here, or the lighting in my camera. I don't know how to do that. So we start on chapter 11. Oh, hello, Dels. This one, the sections, I mean, let me know if you guys have a different interpretation of this, because that's kind of another thing about this book, is you can take it as literally as or as metaphorically as you want. And there's a lot of things that can be analyzed in every page. Like this book is probably impossible to really grasp the extent of the book on the first read. So it's been kind of interesting to dissect it and see what we analyze differently, and see what other people picked up on that maybe we missed or whatever. What do you have? Oh, paper. No, you're not interrupting. But I don't think so. I don't think I've heard of this one. Geek Love? Who travel together as a circus? This is another circus one. No, I've never heard of that. It says, a wild, often horrifying novel about freaks, geeks, and other... I don't know how to pronounce that word. Hold on. Let's figure it out together. No, but pronounce it like I said. Dang it! Hold on, let me go to Google. No, bro, Google, can you just work with me for 1 second? Thank you.
Aberrancies.
Aberrancies of the human condition who travel together, a whole family of them, as a circus. It's a funhouse where normal people seem bland and pitiful. Arturo, the Aqua Boy, who has flippers and an enormous need to be loved. A museum of sacred monsters that didn't make it. An endearing little beetle of a heroine. I've never heard of this before. It says it's a sort of Todd Browning's Freaks crossed with David Lynch and John Irving. I don't know. Oh, interesting. No, I've never heard of it. Oh. Okay, so from chapter 11, I think it's written like this in the columns because we're told that this text has been ripped apart by Zampano, and it was pieced back together as well as it could be, but there are definitely chunks missing. And we have the section separated by this RZZZZZZZ, which I'm not 100% sure about that either. But maybe you guys have a different reason for why it was sectioned like that. So curious to know, for those of you who read this one, if the structure suggests anything else to you, or if you just saw it as the sections being ripped apart. Oh, okay. I wrote the RZZZ could be used to show the pages being torn apart, a split in the text, yeah. Basically, this chapter is telling a story of two brothers, and people are analyzing which brother is which within the story. So in the book, we have Navidson, and we have his brother Tom. Is his brother's name Tom? So it just tells the story of these two brothers. One is like more cunning, and the other's the better son. And it's just people trying to figure out which brother fits in which spot in this story. Okay, yeah. That's yeah, I totally see that too. Like pages being ripped to indicate where the pages were torn. For sure. Um yeah, I like that. Oh yeah. It says Tom is better liked than Will is. Just in general. Yeah, he's torn them to shreds. Oh yeah, and then it also says that by the word, and then it says a word, and it says which comes from the root RZZ, meaning to tear apart, to shatter. So that's probably also why those specific letters were chosen as well. We also have the repetition of Johnny saying lost, which I thought was kind of interesting. I don't know that I have or have figured out a reason for that, but he does quote or like write a footnote for a lot of these sections and just writes the word lost. Johnny at this point has begun to lose his marbles. Like he's always kind of been a questionable character. In these chapters, he's really losing it. He's previously seen things, felt things. Like I said, kind of we see his descent into drug usage, and he sleeps with a lot of women. He's very unreliable in himself, but in this next, I think it's the next chapter, he's really losing it. He is really losing it. And then we also get this symbol. It's a math symbol for not identical or not equivalent, which I thought was interesting because the characters are supposed to be twins. Are they not? Or are they just brothers? No, they're twins, right? I don't know. But this was interesting to me. Ever since the last time where you guys had theories about what was going on with Johnny's mom, I'm just questioning everything. Like, I don't trust anyone. I don't know if anyone's real. I don't know if any of the stories are real. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. But I don't know. Nat, did you have any idea what the symbol, this not identical, not equivalent symbol could have represented? To me, I was like thinking, well, the brothers are supposed to be twins. And then you have this symbol, not identical, not equivalent. And they're like comparing the two brothers. Okay, yeah. So I don't know. I'm like, is this trying to tell us something? Sorry, I'm just thinking to the story too that's told. Basically, the father promises one son something because it's like the better of the sons, and then he goes away, and then the other son pretends to be the first son to get whatever it was that the father wanted to give. And so they're trying to figure out which brother in the story to compare to those brothers. So I don't know, man. And then we have this footnote here. It's quoting a section of the Bible, Genesis 27:24. And then Johnny says, wrong, it's Genesis 27:29. And then there's an editor notes that says, he appears to be in error. The correct reference is Genesis 25:27. So it's like, it's stuff like this where it's like, everyone is so unreliable. How are you all quoting the wrong Bible verse? It's like every Bible has the same verse in it. You should know which verse it is, you know? So even little things like that within the story, I think there's so much to analyze, even within tiny footnote like that, where you're just like, well, how can 3 people get it wrong? It just, I think, reinforces that you can't trust anything in this book. Oh, interesting. Okay. Adding to the topic of the twins not being seen by others as being of the same worth. Okay, that could be too. Yeah, I guess I was taking it more literally because, like I said, you guys messed me up when you were talking about your ideas with Johnny's mom. So I'm like, does this mean one of the twins isn't real? Does this mean does this mean that they're just like part of one personality? I don't know. It got me thinking. But yeah, that could be too. It could be to emphasize their difference, even though they are twins. They're very different characters. We get a little bit more of Tom here. We have a transcript, and this is just detailing Tom's experience. So, for those of you who haven't read the book, up until this point, Navidson has decided to venture into the house, the part of the house that changes. So he's gone in once, he's almost gotten lost, it freaked him out. He ended up hiring cave explorers to go in. So 3 cave explorers, professional cave explorers, go in and they still get lost. So Navidson, his brother Tom, and a man named Reston go in after them to try to rescue them. This is like Navidson's dream. This is all he wants to do. He's wanted to be the one to explore this from the beginning. His wife has been like, hey, you have kids, you have a family, you shouldn't be the one to do it. But he ends up going in anyways. We have Tom at the top of this staircase. The staircase has been interesting in the past chapters because we found that it expands or restricts depending on the person's thoughts. So the first people to explore this staircase envisioned it as a never-ending staircase because they didn't know what the bottom looked like. So they walked down this thing for like days. But then once they got to the bottom, Navidson knew there was a bottom, and that made the staircase reduce in size. And so it only took them like an hour to get to the bottom. So the house also changes depending on the emotions and the feelings and the thoughts of the people within the house, too. So at the top, you have Tom's brother. And then at the bottom of the staircase, you have Navidson and Reston, and they're trying to rescue the cave divers. One of the guys loses his mind and pulls out a gun and shoots the other people, so they're trying to rescue them. So Tom's transcripts, this is just where Tom is alone at the top of the staircase, and we kind of get to see Tom's personality really for the first time. There's like obviously mention of him, but I don't think we really see his humor until this section. I don't know. This is my first read through too. That's actually a good question. I don't have an answer for you. Actually, there are people in here that have read it. Amy, are you still here? You have read House of Leaves before. Maybe you could, I'm not sure if she's still in here, but if she is, maybe she can answer that for you. I'm not 100% sure if we're going to get a nice wrap up at the end. But I'm gonna assume that it's probably a good portion of it is gonna be left up to interpretation, just based on what's going on so far. But yeah, I don't know. That's actually a good question. And oh, here we go. Okay, cool. There's some questions answered. Okay, cool. But a lot left to interpretation. Yeah, I'm pretty excited to kind of do an end of the book wrap up and see what we all can piece together of the ending. I'm very curious. Yes, that is true too. And I can see, like, other people were saying that there are some people that they've heard that don't like this book. It depends, you know? Some people really don't like things left up for interpretation. Like, there are people that have read the Paul Tremblay, The Cabin at the End of the World book, and they're like, this is the worst book ever because it doesn't do the work for you. You kind of are left to figure out what happened in the story. And some people absolutely love that, and some people absolutely hate that. So that is a good question. Yeah, I figure there's probably going to be, if we already up until this point have such different ideas of if the characters are like actually real or not or doing what they're going to do, I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of ambiguity to it. But that's interesting that we get any sort of answer, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, I really liked that book too, which definitely, now that I'm reading House of Leaves, feels inspired by this. Okay. Uh, and yeah, I liked that one too. And yeah, I feel like it will probably be the same as that, where you can definitely make your have your own thoughts about the ending of that book or things that happen in there, but you do get some sort of a resolution at the end. Yeah, that is true. I have definitely Googled a few things throughout here, which also we were talking about last time, like how interesting that this book was written, what, like 20 years ago? Even the way that you experience the book continually changes throughout time. Imagine reading this book 20 years ago. Like, there is no way that you could have picked out. I mean, sometimes you have to use Google Translate to translate something, and then you have to Google that translation to find what poem that's from and what time period that's from and who wrote that poem. You would not be able to do that 20 years ago. So it's interesting that this book is just ever evolving, even the way that the audience interacts with it. It's just such a cool experience, you know? Like, it's more than just a book. Sorry, I have cat hair everywhere now. It's making me itch. Yeah, it had to be. Yeah, okay. It's like you can tell reading House of Leaves, oh, this took this writer a decade to write, you know? Like, it had to. It had to take that long because every single thing has a meaning. Every page has more meaning. Every line, there's just so much in this book. So I feel like a House of Leaves is like a how or the We Used to Live Here is like a House of Leaves light version. It's like a little bit less intricate version of House of Leaves. But yeah, I really enjoyed that one too. I thought it was a fun read. I was like, I have no idea what's going on, but I liked it. No, I don't know, Richard. I think I'll probably, when we get close to finishing House of Leaves, I think I'll probably do a poll. Maybe we could do it in a live stream or maybe on Instagram or something. Because I'd like to read. There's a lot of books that I'd like to read that are larger books that I think would be beneficial if we kind of broke them down. Um, but like it would be a really great one, don't you guys think? Because I haven't read that in so long. I would love to revisit it. I would love to read Swan Song. I'd even really like to read Moby Dick. So I'm down. I'm down for like kind of anything that you guys want to read. But and then maybe for those books, I don't know if we would have to do a live stream because I mean, I guess we could, especially for something like It or Swan Song and stuff. There probably still would be stuff to talk about, but maybe we could do reading sprints where we read the book actually together, and then at the end of reading sprints, we discuss those specific chapters. I don't know. I'll leave that up to you guys because obviously I'm here to do whatever you guys want to do. Hi, hello, welcome. It's going good. It's going good. How are you doing? Yes, yeah. It's so funny because now that I'm reading House of Leaves, I'm like, oh, this book was inspired by it. This book was inspired by it. I feel like even Paul Tremblay's horror movie book, I feel like that definitely was inspired by House of Leaves too, in some capacity. Yeah, and the staircase and the ow, ow, ow claws in the woods. I know. How impressive is this? I also was trying to figure out a way that we could listen to the so his sister made an album that's like a companion piece to this book. And so I was thinking maybe when we finish this, maybe I could do actually I don't know if this would be a pain in the ass for you guys. I don't know how this would work, but I think I could make Patreon, like I could do like a free trial for people for a week. So then anybody who wants to come and listen to the CD after we're done with this, it will be for free. Like I'm not going to make you pay for it. I just can't play copywritten music on YouTube, or I would do it here. But on Patreon, I can do that. So, or a Discord specifically. So I was thinking maybe we could do that too, where we could just have a listening party and listen to the album and then kind of like analyze that after this too. I don't know if that's too much work for you guys because it's like a whole nother app and you probably have to have an account. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure how easy Discord is or how the free trial would work, but that is an option too. Oh my gosh, no, I don't know if I have the capacity for infinite jest. uh, yeah, so we've been reading just a few chapters every month. So, yeah, I mean, obviously it depends how much you read because it's kind of a large book, but you can also read it slowly too and go back and look at the previous live streams after the fact as well. So don't feel rushed or anything to read it. Oh, cat hair everywhere. The Stand, yes, that would be a wonderful one. Yeah. Yeah, we can definitely do kind of whatever you guys want after reading this one. This, because I was thinking a book like this is a lot easier to read together if we have questions or whatever. Like even those of us on Discord, we can write, we have like a House of Leaves discussion. So if we find something or whatever, we can put it in there. And then these lives help a lot. So, but even just reading together and like keeping each other accountable to read a certain chapter or section of a book, I think would be helpful for a larger book too. And I think more people might be interested in reading like it or The Stand versus House of Leaves, because I know a lot of people were intimidated to pick this guy up, which I was too, which is why we're doing it this way. Yeah, wouldn't that be fun? A listening party, and then we can go through, we can bring up like the lyrics of the songs and compare them to the book and kind of see where we go from that. I wish we could do it here on YouTube, but obviously we can't listen to music over here. Oh yeah, that's a good one too. Yeah, there's a lot of larger books that we can do. So I don't think we'll ever run out of options, but it would be kind of cool to pick a book and have an entire year to read it and not have to rush through it and just enjoy the process and read it together. Oh, hello. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. Yep, that's another one. Yeah. Yeah, we can switch off. We can do horror, we can do like classic books, anything you guys want. I'm kind of down for whatever. So then my questions at the end of this chapter was just why this symbol, why this story? Are we being told that one of the brothers aren't as they seem? Because if they're comparing the brothers to the brothers in the story, one of them is like conniving, and that's kind of an interesting comparison to draw out of nowhere. So it kind of leads me to believe that maybe one of the brothers does something that's later on in the book that makes them be the bad brother in that story. So I don't know, I guess we'll see. Okay, so we have Tom's transcript. He is at the top of the stairs, like I said, while Reston and Navidson are down at the bottom trying to rescue the cave diver people, cave explorer people. And he's really funny. He's just making jokes. He's talking shit to the monster. He says, "Okay, Mr. Monster, I know you're there and you're planning to eat me, and there's nothing I can do about it, but I should warn you, I've lived for years on fast food, greasy fries, more than a few polyurethane shakes. I smoke a lot of weed too, got a pair of lungs blacker than road tar. My point is, Mr. Monster, I don't taste so good." So this is just recording him in his tent talking to himself. Sometimes he talks to Navidson's wife, or Navidson himself. He's like making jokes here. Tom, he says, "If it's too much for you, you can go back." Tom says, "Fuck yourself." Navidson says, "What?" Navidson says, "What?" Tom says, "Didn't he go around autographing light bulbs?" Navidson said, "Who?" And Tom says, "What?" And then Navidson says, "What?" Like, he's just making jokes and fucking around. And then Karen says, "How are you managing?" Karen is Navi's, where you guys call him, I guess we all call him different things. Some of you call him Navy. I've just always called him Navi in my head, but Navidson. And then Brian was reading me, I told you I had a headache last night, so Brian read me a few pages of the book, and he called him, I call him Navidson, he was calling him Navidson or something, so I don't know how to pronounce it, but anyways, his wife is named Karen. Karen asks Tom, "How are you managing?" And he says, "Me, I'm cold, I'm scared shitless, and I feel like I'm about to be eaten alive at any moment. Otherwise, I'd say I'm fine." So this was pretty enjoyable, just reading him like talking shit to this monster. I thought it was pretty funny. Yeah, I think when you pick up House of Leaves at first, exactly, you feel like crazy intimidated. It feels, because you can look at books, or you can look at sections where there's crazy text on the page, like these pages, where you're just going around in circles and you're like, how would I ever make sense of something like that? But a lot of the book looks, not a lot, but there are sections of the books that looks like this, where there's just like a letter on the page. And so it's not as, it's with anything. You think like, oh, how could I do that? But then once you pick it up, you're like, oh, it's because it's English and I can read. It's actually not as complicated as you think. But I felt the same way. I picked it up so many times and I'm like, no, I'm not going to be able to figure this out. I don't have the intelligence to figure out what's going on in a book like that. But then you start reading it and you're like, okay, if it's broken down into little bits, it doesn't seem as intense. And I think at the beginning of the year, we said we were going to read like a few pages a day, which I've ended up kind of not reading for 2 weeks and then reading for 2 weeks, just because I've been having a lot of migraines and stuff. But even that has been fine. I think this week I've read 10 pages a day to catch up. Exactly, yeah. A lot of them's filled with blank pages. And then you're like switching throughout the book too. So although it looks like we have a lot of book left, we've already read this much of the back, because a lot of them are the notes or this or that. So yeah, I totally agree with you. It looks bigger than it is, kind of like the house. Oh yeah, we could definitely do stuff like that. I know I was trying to think of what we could do for October, because I'm like, oh, it'd be cool if we could read like Poe stories together and stuff, but I don't know how that would work. But yeah, I mean, I I also would love to read a lot of Poe. this fall too. Yeah, definitely. Highly recommend. It's been a fun piece. It's obviously not going to be for everyone, which is totally fine. But yeah, I do definitely recommend at least trying it out. It might not be a book for you, but I think it's worth it to try out. But yeah, I totally agree. It does seem more intimidating than it actually is. And not saying that I have figured everything out. There's still, I'm sure, a million things that I'm missing reading the book. But the actual physical part of reading isn't as daunting as it seems. Yeah, yeah, no, that's a good point. It is nice to kind of have like a more relaxed, funny moment in a story that's been up to this point pretty serious. I mean, we have like kind of the disintegration of Navi's family and then also the disintegration of Johnny and also his past, like all the shit that he's had to deal with. So the book has been pretty heavy up to this point. So yeah, I completely agree. It was nice to kind of breathe and laugh for a moment. In the book, I don't know that I've laughed at all so far. And we're on page 260. Oh, that's true too. Yeah, to see Tom using jokes as a coping mechanism. Yeah, that is very true. He's obviously very uncomfortable and in not a good place, but is still, yeah, that I guess that's yeah, his way of coping with it and not losing his mind. Yes, that is true too. You think it's going to be this crazy text and you read it and you're like, "Oh, it's English. Yeah, I can read English. Why did I think that this would be a different language to me?" Yeah, I've read a few of them. Um, the Brothers Grimm's ones. They've definitely been fun to read. See, I feel like it would be cool to read them together, but I'm just not sure how we would go about doing that. I think it'll probably be after um, Christmas because I think we still got a few hundred pages to go. And like I said, I the last 2 months I've pushed the live stream just because I've had other stuff or I've had a bunch of migraines and I was like, I can't read this right now. But now I am feeling better. So, I mean, I do have a headache, but it's not a migraine. So hopefully going forward we can read and keep the live streams each month, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, they're pretty dark. The Cinderella one has been my favorite so far. I'm like, geez Louise, the sisters cut off their toes and birds are plucking out eyeballs. I'm like, what is happening? Was this really read to children? Jeez. Okay, so his brother, he's funny. I like him. We also have this footnote from Johnny. I feel like we read this before. Am I crazy? I think this was a footnote that I read before, and I don't know if I read it on accident or what, but this is the second time that I read this. But you just have Johnny talking about his friend sleeping with a bunch of girls, and Johnny talking about sleeping with girls. Then we have the story of Johnny and the freaking dog where he kills the dog. And in the story, it's a girl who kills the dog named Johnny, but I'm pretty sure it was him. But also we've discussed, like, did the dog even exist? We don't really know. He's losing it, man. He's losing it. But he just goes on these long rants. I don't really have anything highlighted from Johnny's section, so let me know if there's anything that I've missed that you guys want to talk about, obviously. I'm sure that there are things that I missed, but this is the second time I read this one, so I'm like, did I mistakenly read this again? Or I don't know. I was a little confused by that, but I could have read the wrong footnote. So And then we have a little bit more of the radio. Karen says, it could have been avoided. We didn't need to go through all this. She's saying that objects from her house have gone missing. She put up feng shui stuff, different objects around the house, and they're gone now. So that's kind of interesting now that things are disappearing within the home, because prior to Navi going in the part of the home that changes, I don't think, maybe I'm wrong, I think there was something about a bookcase falling over or books falling over or something, but I don't think that there's been a lot of movement on the outside of the house where the family lives. So it's kind of interesting that once they go into that portion of the house, that things start disappearing from within the house. Okay, that's what I mean, I know that I read it, but I didn't know if I read the wrong footnote or something. Okay, so we did already talk about the dog thing, which I'm still pissed about. If anybody killed a dog, I'm pissed. I don't know if it was Johnny, Johnny boy, Johnny girl. I don't know if Johnny girl exists. I don't know if the dog exists. But even if someone killed a metaphorical dog, I'm pissed about it, okay? So Tom's about to give up. He's about to go back in the house. He starts making his way down the stairs because am I getting ahead of myself? Does he go down yet? Okay, yeah, he's still talking to... Okay, Tom says, I'm coming in. So he hasn't gone down yet. A short analysis of Tom's story. There is nothing hasty about Tom's story. Navidson has clearly put an enormous amount of work into these few minutes, despite obvious technological limitations. The cuts are clean and sound beautifully balanced, with the rhythm and order of every shot only serving to intensify even the most ordinary moments. So it is kind of interesting now that we're seeing what's actually happening in the story too, to see that this experience is taken and edited so perfectly into this captivating movie of someone who is a movie, like, I don't know what he does. He does film and he's a photographer, and he also does like cinematography or whatever, Navi. So it is also interesting to see that these moments are able to be edited like that. You would think in a situation like this, you wouldn't have the equipment or the capacity to edit such perfect sections. So I don't know. That's kind of interesting. Now, what did you think about the dog? Do you think he killed the dog? Do you think the dog existed? Hello, welcome. What do you think, Marilla? 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 What are you doing? Dells. She's just staring at a wall. Like, usually she's looking out the window or something, but she's just being a baby demon. So we just had a short analysis of Tom's story. They're just, yeah, that's all it is, a short analysis of that section of Tom's laughing and making jokes. Yeah. I took a few Dante classes in college, so yeah, I've read Dante's Inferno a few times. I haven't read the whole, I think we only read Inferno. Maybe sections of like the Divine Comedy, but I think mostly we just focused on Inferno in college. And then I read it outside of college too, but... Hi, Brady. What are you doing? Okay. That is... Okay, cool. I think the dog was a metaphor for Johnny giving up his last bit of... Sorry, cat hair absolutely everywhere. Last bit of hope and sanity. I hope that that is the case too. Don't even like that it's a metaphorical dog, but that does make sense. Kind of his breaking point. And that actually does make sense because this is the chapter where he really loses it. I know. Morella demands at least one child sacrifice a day. Is that true, Dels? You are so freaking cute. Okay, so then in chapter 12, we get what is this? You're so freaking cute. Okay, so now we go back to Navidson and Reston at the bottom of the stairs. They tell Tom that they need him. Tom is not there, so they think that he has abandoned them. Navi says, this is what Tom does best. He lets you down, which I think is quite interesting because Navi's the one that wanted to go into this place in the beginning. Tom has upended his entire life to come and stay at Navi's house to help him with this house. He's the reason why him and his wife are doing better in this moment. Like, he seems to keep the peace within the family a lot more. The children love him. It says previously that most people seem to like Tom better than Navi. And so, and also, while they go down, Tom's the one alone in this place. He's the only one that is alone. Everyone else has a companion with him. I mean, besides the guy that loses his mind and shoots people and runs off, but they began together. Tom's sitting alone in this place with a monster on the loose. He knows that one of the guys has a gun and is shooting people. They keep hearing this growling and see, like, things being torn to shreds and stuff. And Tom is the only one who's alone. And so I thought that this quote from Navi was really interesting. That is what Tom does best. He lets you down. There's no... I mean, I know that there was some animosity between the brothers prior in the story, and they kind of just rekindled their relationship. But what an interesting thing to say to somebody who is, like, essentially given up their life to help you figure out this house, when, like, the simple thing would have been to just leave or let someone else handle it. And Navi's been so obsessed with it that it's ruining his family and he doesn't even care. Yet he's still so quick to criticize Tom. Oh, interesting. I think that's why he put so much effort into the editing of Tom's section as an apology for that comment. Ooh, that could be too. That's good. And then 1 second later, they go, oh, Tom didn't just screw us over and leave. He's actually helped us. Oh, awesome. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for hanging out. I'll be posting when the next lives are. Usually on Instagram, but over here too, I'm sure. Okay, so he sends down a rope, which they use. It says, after making his successful bid to reach the bottom of the spiral staircase, Tom has retracted his way back to the living room where he began to construct a light gurney out of scrap wood. Karen helped, by going to town to get additional parts, including a pulley and extra rope. Navidson was wrong. Tom may not have gone down the stairs, but the alternative he came up with was far better. Oh, that could be true. Yeah. Okay. I can see that. I can definitely see that. Where he's like, oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't think about how that would have been to be alone for 3 days by yourself in this terrible environment. That's a good analysis of that section. I hadn't thought about that. Still an asshole thing to say, though. Okay, so within minutes, Navidson and Reston are hoisting wax up the 100-feet shaft. Navidson ties the rope around the bottom of the banister. Thus, if something would happen, causing them to lose the rope, the stretcher will stop short of hitting the bottom by several feet. A few seconds later, a quarter clatters to the floor, indicating that wax has reached the top and the stretcher can be lowered and readied for the next load. Jed is next. Hand over hand, Navidson and Reston haul the body upward. They struggle to lift the corpse over the railing. A second quarter clatters to the floor. Navidson double checks to make sure the end of the rope is still securely attached to the banister to hoist up his friend. "You're one heavy bastard," Navidson grunts. Reston lights a green flare that gives Navidson a big toothy grin, going up like the 4th of July. At first, everything seems to proceed smoothly. Slowly but surely, Navidson draws more and more slack rope down onto the floor, steadily lifting Reston up. Then halfway up, something strange happens. The excess rope at Navidson's feet starts to vanish, while the rope he holds begins to slip across his fingers and palms with enough speed to leave a burning gash. Navidson finally lets go. Reston, however, does not fall. In fact, Reston's ascent only accelerates, marked by the burning green light that he holds in his hand. But if Navidson is no longer holding on to the rope, what could possibly be pulling Reston to the top? Then the stairs start getting darker and darker, and as that faintly illuminated circle above, the proverbial light at the end of the tunnel, starts getting smaller and smaller, the answer becomes clear. Navidson, oh my gosh, cat hair everywhere. Navidson is sinking, or the stairway is stretching, expanding, dropping, and as it slips, dragging Reston up with it. At a certain point, the depth of the stairs begins to exceed the length of the rope. By the time Reston reaches the top, the rope has gone taut, but the stairway still continues to stretch. Realizing what is happening, Navidson makes a desperate grab for the only remaining thread connecting him to home, but it is too late. About 10 feet above the banister, the rope snaps. And then after that segment, so that's just, I mean, it is interesting, but I don't really have much else to add to that. I don't know, Nat, if you have anything that you want to discuss in that section. I mean, we know that things expand and retract and things aren't normal in there, so I don't know that there's anything else that I picked up on that section. Then we get this kind of bizarre rant from Johnny. I don't know, man. He's losing time. He gets fired from his job. He's gone for weeks at a time. He doesn't know what happens. He becomes obsessed with the Navidson record. He said, it's almost as if I believe questions about the house will eventually return answers about myself, which is kind of interesting because there's always been a parallel with Johnny and the house. So I felt like that was kind of an interesting question and maybe a foreshadowing into what the ending will be. I don't know. We also have this. It says, suddenly comes alive with the shape of, so the line between earth and the sky suddenly come alive with the shape of leaves. I just thought that was interesting because I think that's the first time leaves have been mentioned in the book. I don't know. Then he says, he's talking about this person telling a story, and he says, in fact, that was the conclusion to every single story he told. He was talking about sinking ship after another, one sinking ship after another. In fact, that was the conclusion to every single story he told, so that we, his strange audience, learned not to wonder about the end, but paid more attention to the tale preceding the end, which I thought was kind of interesting. Kind of like, I don't know, life. Like, we all have the same ending, but it's what's in the middle that matters. The ending is always death, you know? There's also a mention of a growl built upon story after story. So there's like, again, more parallels to House of Leaves. And then he goes on this long ass rant about this story of a sinking ship. And then he's talking about the ship's called the Atrocity. And he's talking about how the ship is sinking and some guy locks himself in a hole. And the guy's like alive as the ship is sinking, but he's running out of air, and he has 5 daughters. And then he's like, I don't know if he has 5 daughters. And then he says, it reminds me of me. And then he talks about some girl named Ashley. I don't know who the fuck Ashley is. I don't know. I had a headache. Brian read this section to me, so I didn't pay attention, I feel like, as much as I maybe would have if I read it myself. But this section confused me. Any thoughts on that? Do you guys have any, like, sometimes Johnny's rambling just seems like that. Like, it seems nonsensical, but I know that there's a reason for it. But sometimes it's kind of hard to see the reason because you're like, bro, what are you talking about? He talks about how he's been sober for weeks, but we're like, do we actually believe you, though? And if we went back and looked at the timeline, would that add up? I don't know. Like, Johnny's just so unreliable. I don't know about him. But before, when he's reading the report, he's hearing things, feeling things, definitely descending, but now he's losing time. His boss says, "Are you all right? You've been gone for 3 weeks." And then Johnny mutters to himself, "I have." So he's really losing it. Right now, the only thing that keeps me going is some misunderstood desire to finish the Navidson record. So yeah, I don't know, man. Let me know if you guys have any comments on that section. I don't really know what to make of it, or if you guys had other interpretations of the story or whatever. Sinking ship. Also, who the fuck is Ashley? Like, I don't remember anyone named Ashley. I'd fallen in love with her. Yeah, I don't know. Who is that? Yeah, exactly. I was very confused by this too. I thought it was because Brian was reading it to me, but maybe the section was just nonsensical. I mean, I know it's meant to be that way, but I'm sure there's a reason for everything, but the reason for this section, I do not know. But yeah, I was very confused too, because he was talking about having daughters, and then he's like, maybe he has 5 daughters? I don't know. I don't know. A confusing section nonetheless. Bye-bye, Ashley. Goodbye to the one you knew before I found him and had to let him go. Do you know who Ashley is? Or is this the first mention of an Ashley in the book? Hello, welcome. And then the only thing else that we have are these last few pages. It says that the cord that broke, it breaks at 6,000 to 7,000 pounds. So it's like obviously a pretty girthy cord. I don't know when I'll open a P.O. box. I just don't know where to open one that would be like, I don't know. And I have to figure out a different way when I do open a P.O. box, because like I said, I would talk to authors about getting books, and then some people would just send me books, but they wouldn't send any cards or anything, so I didn't know if it was an author sending a book. I didn't know if it was a gift, and then the books kind of got mixed up, and so now I have so many books to get through, so then I feel kind of bad opening one without getting through those first, you know? So I'm hoping I can at least get through some of them. But I have like there's probably 50 books down here from authors that have sent me books, which is crazy. And I'm grateful for them, but it's obviously going to take me a long time to get through. So the cord breaks. How the pulley was torn from the top banister. Luckily, Tom managed to grab him as well as the rope before the whole kit and caboodle plummeted back down the shaft. It took us a few minutes to get our bearings, Rustin tells the camera. We still weren't sure what happened. So for the final shot, Navidson loads his Airiflex with 100 feet of high-speed tungsten, uses a 5-minute ultra-high intensity light stick to illuminate the area, and rolls his high 8 to record sound. For almost an hour, he begins, I waited, rested, kept hoping something would change. It didn't. Eventually, I started going over my stuff, trying to figure out exactly what to do next. Then all of a sudden, I heard something clatter behind me. I turned around, and there, lying on the floor just off to the side, was a third quarter. He holds up the coin. If Tom dropped it, say a few minutes after Reston reached the top, then it's been falling for at least 50 minutes. I don't want to do the math, but it's impossible distance. This says down here that it's somewhere around 27,273 miles, exceeding even the Earth's circumference at the equator. That's crazy. And then Johnny says this formula isn't entirely accurate. A more precise calculation can be made by fill in later, and he never fills it in. So like, also Johnny, what the hell? You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about at all. Navi says, I don't know how to get back. The radio's dead. If I can find my pack and Jed's, I'll have water and food for 3 days, maybe 4 days worth of batteries. But what will that do? The film runs out here, leaving nothing else behind but an unremarkable white screen. And then we end with like a black dot, which I don't know how you guys interpreted this, but this to me was like, I don't know, like a camera turning off, like the last thing that you see and then it's blank. I don't know. That was just my thought. And those were the sections that we went over. So, any last thoughts on section 12 and 11 and 12? Anything else? Oh yeah, 14. Okay. So we're stuck. Navi's on the stairs. And that's where we are. That's where we're left off. The next chapter is the Minotaur. So, I'm excited to see what the heck happens next. Is he trapped down the stairs? We shall never know. Let me see. Can we do even more than that? Maybe we can get a chunk of this done. What are you guys thinking for next month? I just saw a quote from Stephen King in here. Interesting. Maybe I can get to 370. 13. That's 57 pages. Ooh. A book stand? What do you mean? Like while I'm reading, or while reading the last page about how long the coin took to drop Just reminded me of a short story in how. Oh, yeah. With a library, for sure. Yeah, it gives you a little bit of an existential crisis there. But what's interesting too is like maybe they haven't figured out, and maybe it's only after the fact that they think about how their own perception changes the story or changes the inner workings, which is possible. But it's also, I mean, you would think that the first people, it took days to get down to the bottom, and when Navi gets down to the bottom, it took him like an hour. It's just kind of interesting that, maybe it's not a voluntary thing, I guess. Maybe it's subconscious, but I'm very curious to see what happens and how long he's stuck on that staircase for. What are you thinking for next month? What are you thinking for next month, Nat? We can do a few chapters. We're on chapter 13 now. We can for sure at least get to chapter... Man, Roman numerals are hard for my brain. 16? So 3 chapters would put us at page 370. That's 57 pages to read in a month, which isn't a ton. If you break it down, it's only a few pages a day. So I feel like that's doable. And if I procrastinate and do it in a week like I have been, that's only 8 pages a day, so it's perfect. But we could do more or less depending on what you're thinking. And yeah, we'll probably be going into January, maybe February. But who knows? I don't know. But we've got quite a few chapters to go. Why are there instructions here? Here's the appendix on 530. Okay, so actually, if we do about... Hold on, let me math for a second. We have 537 pages because this is the appendix, and I think by the end of the story, when we get to the appendix, we'll have read most of the back, so I don't think there's really going to be much to read in the appendix toward the end. So minus 312. Okay, we only have 225 pages to go. So say we do... That puts us at 3 months. October, November, oh my God, December. We might actually finish this. We might actually finish this in December. That's crazy. Oh, interesting. When Tom tried going down the stairs and it changed and stretched for him, it felt like it linked to when he was making shadow puppets as the shadows were contorting and shifting. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, so I guess it's not only their mind, it's their behavior as well that changes what's going on around them too, which I guess I'll try to pay closer attention. I'm just trying to think like what would cause the expansion of the staircase at that moment. Because I don't know that was it anything that they were doing, or... Because I'm thinking like they're getting close to the end. They're almost there. Navi's like, okay, one more guy up and then I'm good to go. So at that point, I would think that they would be feeling hopeful. So it's kind of interesting that there was an expansion at that point too. I don't know if my brain can think of a reason for that right now. Yeah, I don't know. But that is interesting if anything that they do affects what's going on around them. I just don't know. Oh gosh, you're gonna bring math into it. I'm gonna get even more of a headache. Differential geometry. Can I tell you? My husband and I have been together for 13 years. The only time we have ever had problems in our marriage was when he was trying to teach me math in college. Like, I remember he was staying up till midnight with me trying to teach me math, and I was just crying. I just want to go to bed. So math is definitely not my strong suit. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm sure there's just so much this book, especially on the first read through, that I'm just not gonna get. I just don't do math well. So do you guys want to read to chapter... So read chapter 13, 14, 15 for next time? That's 70 pages. Brian, he does finance. He's a finance dude. So yeah, he's a numbers guy. Much more than I am. I'm the English major, he's the finance major. Could not be more opposite. Oh, that's true too. Oh, interesting. A device to isolate Navi. Which actually is kind of interesting because that is kind of what he's doing by going down there, is isolating himself, you know? Like, he's the one putting everyone in danger and kind of forcing people to go into a place where they don't want to go. So that actually is, maybe that does make sense then, that the house is behaving that way. Because they're like, hey, you wanted this. You wanted to go in. You wanted to explore. Have at it, bud. So yeah, that's actually an interesting point. I like that. I like that. Yeah, we could do that too. For sure. Yeah, there's tons of books that I would like to get through. Oh yeah, you guys remember that I showed you this book that I got, this Bleak House by Charles Dickens? This looks so good. I want to read this. It's I think about a spooky house. It sounds interesting. So yeah, maybe we could do something like that too. Maybe it'd be cool to get through a long book each year. It'd be neat to get some of the bigger books read, but not have it affect, you know, if you're picking up a 900-page book in a month, then you're probably not going to get much else read. At least I wouldn't. So it'd be cool to be able to get through them. Yeah, I'm excited to see what happens to him. Navi versus the house. Dun, dun, dun. And we still have one of the missing guys down there too. With the guy with the gun. I can't remember his name. What's that guy's name? The one that Navi has a problem with. Man, I don't know. Oh, no. Lost it. Man, what was that guy's name? I can't believe we've already come this far in the book. That's so cool. Okay, I can't remember, but you guys know what I'm talking about. The other dude, the third dude, the explorer dude. Oh, Jed, no. Wax is the other guy. What is this fucking guy's? Oh, Holloway. Holloway. He's still down there. Armed. So we'll see. We shall see. Oh, really? Is it a good book? I just got it at the used bookstore, and I read the back and it sounded a little spooky, so I was like, "Ooh, this could be fun." Oh, really? I've never read it. I don't think we read a lot of Dickens in college that I can think of. Yeah, not that I can really think of. So there you have it, friends. What do we think? Are we enjoying House of Leaves? And those of you who aren't reading it, are you enjoying hearing about it even though you haven't read it yet? Are you eventually going to read it? Or are you just going to... Yeah, see, that sounds fun. I want to read it. I've been wanting to read As I Lay Dying for a while now. I keep picking it up and then I go, do I really want to read this? Do I really want to be sad? I don't know. Guys, I think we might finish this by December. Also, I just realized the other day that on the back cover there's a dude with a lantern. Never saw this dude before in my life. Man, I really hope I can get this headache to go away. Yeah, but it's going to be sad, isn't it? Like, I should expect a sad book when I pick up As I Lay Dying. That's why I haven't read it so far. Every time I pick it up, I'm like, I don't know if I want to be upset. I don't like sad books. I really don't. We just read for my girls' book club, we just read The Women. That book was hard to get through. I'm like, yes, it's a good book, but damn, man, I don't want to just read how life sucks for 500 pages. It's just sad. I'm not the biggest fan of books that make me sad. Okay, so we'll do another like 70-ish pages for House of Leaves. We'll meet again next month for that. So I'm thinking October live streams over here. We'll have book club still for October. We'll have a House of Leaves discussion. I do want to play one game. I want to play the mortuary assistant over here. Yeah, I am gonna watch it. I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it. But I will watch it. But I'm very hesitant. I will say that. One paragraph is actually one sentence. Oh, yeah. That can be rough. That can be rough. That's like the guy who wrote The Turning of the Screw. Is it Henry James? Man, that book is so hard to get through. His writing is like, excuse me? Oh, yeah. So, what I was saying was, I want to play a game here. We'll do a live stream. Do you guys want to do? Remember last year we did a pumpkin carving where we chatted about books and I carved a pumpkin And then you guys could get a pumpkin and carve a pumpkin while watching too. I did give a quiz, like a horror quiz. Yeah, exactly. I'll just be in the back. Fuck you, Heathcliff. Yeah, that might be one I stream at home. Should probably avoid the theaters on that one. But I'm just very curious where they're going with it because it's released on Valentine's Day, which is a questionable thing to have a book like that or a movie like that released on Valentine's Day, you know? Like, I don't know. I don't know. If they try to make it a romance book, I might lose my shit. But yeah, we could do like pumpkin carving again during October. We could do reading sprints during October. We can do whatever. And maybe we could do some Saturday streams too, but I guess the Saturday streams would have to be at night because we're going to do movie nights during the day on Saturdays, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Exactly. Exactly. Because let's be honest, those characters, the only people that they were in love with were themselves. Heathcliff is only in love with himself. And fucking whatever that bitch's name is, I can't remember her name, but also, same with her. And I think the only reason why they even liked each other was because they reminded each other of each other because they were both fucking assholes. The which one? Reading sprints or pumpkin carving? I could also put a poll on Instagram and see what people want. Only because we don't have many Sundays. We have 4 Sundays in October, and we'll already have reading sprints, and we'll already have House of Leaves and you know, book club. And then I want to play a game 1 thing. Oh shoot, no, I have book club. Maybe I could have. I'll ask my book club if we can meet later, and I'll do this at noon. I think that's the plan. I'll do that. Yeah, that is true. The dark romance genre is quite interesting. I have one of my friends reads all the smutty kind of romance books, and she's talking about how she had this whole subsection of stalker romance books where this guy stalks this girl and then the girl likes it and then they fall in love. I'm like, that is the worst plot for a romance book ever. But she eats them up. Yeah, the cat lady will be on Patreon, though. I'm hoping to finish that one. I put a poll up on Patreon to see what time people would like, only because people have been watching that one. Okay, it looks like 12 p.m. So we'll do it at that time, probably. Or so far. There's a few days left to vote. Just because the people that have been watching it, I want them to be able to come and watch the very ending of it. But I'm hoping to get that done. But, you know, I'm the slowest video game player of all time, so we'll see. Okay, pumpkin carving. Okay, I'll probably put something. I mean, we could also do lives other days too, but it would have to be during the week, and I don't know where everyone's from and if that's possible for everyone, you know? Like the UK people, it wouldn't be a big deal if I did a noon one on a weekday because it's nighttime for you guys. But for the US people, you guys probably couldn't do a weekday one unless I did it later at night. So I don't know. I don't know what that is. Oh, the Are you talking about the dark romance thing? Yeah, I don't know. But it's very interesting what people read. And you know what I find interesting? Sometimes I get comments on my videos that are like, you're so messed up for reading this stuff. And then I read The Woman, which is arguably one of the most popular books of all time right now. And that book is 1,000 times worse than what I'm reading. And I'm like, you guys, you're reading the messed up stuff, not me. Like, that's actually stuff that happened. I'm just reading fictional books about, like, eating babies and stuff. I don't think it's that serious. But I don't know. It was interesting because that book got dark. And I'm like, wow. Some people think that my books are messed up, but, like, those are the books that mess me up more. Books that are actually based on true stuff. Pretty dark. Yeah, as long as they know. Oh, yeah, that could definitely be a problem. See, I can't think of one dark romance book that I've read. Maybe it's been kind of an underlying thing in a horror book or something, but yeah, I don't really do romance just in general. But I do know that it's popular, and I do know a lot of it is revolving around like fantasy books too, where they're like, gnomes doing it or something. I don't know. But what is the actual dark romance is a subgenre of the romance novels that explores love and passion within a dangerous, morally ambiguous, or taboo context, often featuring complex power dynamics, obsession, violence, or psychological turmoil between characters. Okay, so it's always a bad thing. It's never good. That is so freaking interesting, right? Yeah, I would argue that's kind of weirder than the stuff that I read. Hmm. Isn't that so funny that people are so quick to criticize the horror genre, but then can read like the weirdest stuff, which is fine. Like I'm not saying there's anything wrong with reading dark romance at all. If that's what you like, that's awesome. But it's just funny how people are so quick to criticize horror, and then if you really look into it, you're like, bro, I think gnomes doing it is a little more strange. Oh, there's drama around the writers who write it. Huh. Interesting. Oh, yeah. Well, see, that's kind of weird too. And like the YA section, you would think that that's the whole point, is that they're not super intense books. So that's really interesting I mean, that kind of sucks that you have to like look into every book that somebody is reading if they're young. You would think, when I was younger, if I walked into the YA section, there would be nothing like that. So, yeah, that is kind of interesting that is completely aimed at a younger audience. How odd. Oh, yeah, 100%. I don't actually know if it's gnomes. It's just I know it's fantasy stuff that people are all into. But yeah, how interesting. Yeah, I can't really think of any like I'm not reading, American Psycho and being like, I hope she falls in love with Patrick Bateman. Like that's crazy. That's really crazy. I'm kind of interested though. I always do when I see a book that pops up a lot. I'm always like, I wonder if I would read it and be interested. Not you, you're too young. You're too young. Oh, rude. What do you think, Marilla? Do you like reading dark romance? She says she will only read the Satanic Bible. Well, because I just said gnomes doing it, but I mean like mythical creatures and stuff, I think is what's popular now. Well, that is true, right? Yeah, I think that's very true. And not only that, but I think a lot of people shrug off horror and just say like, "Oh, it's blood and guts," but there's so much more to horror, and horror can help in so many different ways. It's such an interesting genre, and it's just sad when people, don't take it seriously. I mean, I know it's not for everyone. That's totally fine. But it is kind of like the most underappreciated genre in my opinion. That's true. And even the books where you do have characters that are like unreliable narrators or whatever, I mean, it's not like we're idolizing those characters usually. I mean, I can't think of a book on off the top of my head that has an unreliable narrator that I'm like, yes, I love this. Oh, maybe, you know what, maybe Victorian Psycho. I do actually adore her. And she does just murder people. So yeah, maybe that's not all the way true. But yeah, I get what you're saying for the most part. A gnome romance? Dude, I bet there is. Watch. I'm just gonna type in gnome romance books. Gnome One Like You is the first one that popped up. Garden gnomes have issues. When in Gnome. Gnome Mountain. There's surprisingly a decent amount of books about gnomes. Oh, here we go. Gnome Sweet Gnome with this shirtless man with a Santa beard. I'm sure that'll be interesting. Gnomes of Suburbia. I'll be gnome for Christmas. Bad to the gnome. You guys. Oh my gosh. There's a whole subreddit looking for fantasy books with gnomes. Gnome romance is the best romance. That's a legitimate forum on Reddit. Gnomance. Anytime you think something's not real, it's already been done. Whatever you're into, If this is what you like reading, good for you. Gnome in your home. It just keeps going. It just keeps going. Yep. There's plenty. Nomeo and Julian. Oh, yeah. Yep, I'm sure there's a Chuck Tingle book about gnomes. Hi. Hello. Thank you for coming. Thanks for stopping by. I know what I'm picking for book club. Oh, gosh. Oh gosh. Richard's gonna make us all read a gnome romance book. Oh yeah, and then we were talking about too having like picking different categories for the October book club book. I guess I'll put something on Instagram about that too, to see if anybody has any suggestions. I don't know if you guys want to keep it broad like monsters, or we can have very specific options like ghosts, vampires, mummies, whatever. But I'll put something on Instagram for that. And then I'll plan a pumpkin carving party too, and we can figure out what to do there. All right. Well, guys, I think I'm going to go drink the rest of this Coke and maybe take a nap. I have a freaking headache. This headache will not go away. And it's not bad, but it's just annoying, you know? But thanks for hanging out. I had a lot of fun. Bri, look at the mini books I got. It's funny because every time I'm in here, she's always running in here. I think she's more like, oh, the people are here for me. That's what I think. Okay, sometimes I cannot figure out how to do this. Bri. Or he's taking the dogs out. I think she thinks that... Oops, I forgot to put the back on. Dang it. I think Marilla thinks that you guys just want to come and look at her. She's a funny cat. Thank you very much. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I'll keep you updated on the lives for next month. Oh my gosh, I'm too stupid to put this together. My brain is not... Why is this not working? Okay, well, we'll figure that guy out later. Yeah, she's like, they're not here to talk about books. They're here to just talk about me. Well, guys, thanks for hanging out. I think we'll do about 70 pages of House of Leaves for next month. Other than that, I will see you guys next week. I'll be posting a video now since it's already Sunday. I'll post a video on Thursday. For Patreon, I'll see you guys for movie nights next week. And then for here, I'll let you guys know on Instagram kind of what we decide. And then I'll post a thing here so you guys can see the lives for the month. Otherwise, I think that's it. Thank you very much. I plan on getting rid of this headache. And thank you so much. And thanks for hanging out. That was a lot of fun. As always, it's always interesting to see what everybody thinks of this bad boy. Okay, guys. See you later.